talking about a little bit of fashion. And Big Game, we showed you this the other night. We had to show this to D-Fish.
Is this a magazine spread? What is this?
Oh, I mean, Big Game has already got it going on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See? Look how beautiful she is right there.
Come on now. Taya respects Big Game.
Strike that pose, young lady.
Strike that pose.
Strike that pose.
That's real nice right there. Big Game, I feel like you've done that before. A little modeling in the past, huh, buddy?
No.
Come on, man. I'm going to dig up some things.
Thing,
LeBron is ready for the regular season. 20 points in the preseason finale. He's speaking with Mike in the media.
LeBron, would you just sum up how this preseason has gone in such unique experiences? We've all talked about the lack of time between the October 11th title and everything, but what have you seen from your teammates? How do you feel yourself ahead of the Tuesday opener for the regular season?
I mean, it's just so different, obviously, with the lack of games, the situation, obviously, all the COVID protocol and things of that nature. It's been a different training camp, to say the least. But for the time that we've had, which hasn't been that much, I feel like we've put in the work and gotten better. And obviously, we're not where we want to be long term, but that's absolutely okay because it's a long season, it's a long journey. But I think to the credit of the guys, we've gotten better, as the days went on.
Just big picture with how unique the season is, and you had the weird 4 months off when COVID first hit. Then you play, of course, throughout the playoffs. Now the 2 months here. How are you trying to plan things for your body, which I know was kind of on a clock, right, for what, the last how many years? 15, 17, 18 years?
Just listening to it. Listen to my body. My body will tell me where I am at that point in time. And, just listen to it. That's what it's about. Be very smart. We're a marathon team. We understand that. We're not in a sprint. But we want to get better every day. So it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a fine line, but I'll listen to my body. I'll listen to, Mike Mancini is my trainer. I'll listen to the coaching staff. I'll obviously listen to Frank and listen to my teammates as well, and go from there.
With some of the new guys and so on, is there one thing, LeBron, that you guys focus on ahead of the season opener? Things that you guys can do based on your experience with most of the group from last year?
Well, the one thing we know we control, and that's defensive rebound and defensive transition, and also sharing the ball offensively. We know we can control that. We got to do a really good job of, sharing the ball, which we love to do. Have everyone involved, everyone feels in a good rhythm. And then defensively, grabbing rebounds, boxing out, and also getting back in transition. So those are the things that we can control.
Dave?
LeBron, you just told us that you guys know that you're not where you want to be long term, but that's okay because of the circumstances. It kind of sounds a lot like the sentiment that Frank just shared with us. But we also know that you told us before, like, patience is not your strong suit. So what will you be looking for as things actually start to count in the standings in terms of knowing where you guys are at?
We just want to get better every day. We want to get better every day, either on the floor, during games or practices, or if it's, during a film session, either on the road or at home, preparing our minds and preparing our bodies for the long haul. So, I'll see how we continue to improve each month, throughout each game, throughout each journey, each step, and go from there.
Dan?
Hey, LeBron, how much of that mindset, that sort of marathon mindset, is different now that you guys have done it once as a group, as a core? Did that change any of that? Did you feel like you guys had that last year? I know there was a ton of talk about the moment last year. So did that change having that success?
No, I mean, I think it's two different things. I mean, obviously you live in the moment, but you also understand, it is a marathon and it's not a sprint. We're a veteran ball club. We understand that. I've been a part of some veteran ball clubs. You live in the moment, you make the most of today, which we did today in our last preseason game. But we also know that this is going to be a long journey, and that's what the marathon is all about. So you can do both.
Last question, Kyle.
Hey, LeBron. Thinking back to 2012 when you were coming off your first NBA championship, how did that change you and change your approach to the season? And do you see signs of that in AD as he kind of comes off a championship and is looking to win another?
I think it's about, trying to be great. I wanted to be great in this league. I didn't want to just be someone that could, put up numbers. I wanted to be someone that could win. And I've always been a winner my whole life. And I wanted to win at the highest level. And AD wants to do the same. And he wants to be one of the best. And we always, we know that the championships is the holy grail in this league. Be crowned a champion. If you be crowned multiple champions, then, that's what it's all about, So, he's ready for that moment. His confidence is out the roof, and it's up to us as his teammates to continue to help his confidence continue to soar and protect him and help him continue to tap into his prime, which that he's grown into.
All right. Thank you, LJ. Have a safe flight home. Thanks, everybody.
All right, I like that question by Kyle Goon. We talk a lot about AD and his mentality now that he's got a championship. Allie Clifton joins us. Allie, I want to start with you because I want to talk LeBron James. Last year was different. It was the most rest he had maybe ever had in his NBA career. He was off for about 4.5, 5 months. Every single night, it's like he had a list of whoever called him a washed king, and he was going, that's it. But now they won a championship. It wasn't that long ago. What are your expectations, year 18, for LeBron to start this season in terms of how he gets going and navigates it?
I think there is this element to the shortened off season and it being the shortest in pro sports history and the tired legs, the exhaustion. That is all real. And it's true. It's something that we have to factor in. But I actually think that this could be used in such a motivational, positive direction. And I think that LeBron is a guy that, though there might be spurts times where he is needing to rest and take nights off, due to all of that in season 18 and being 36 years old, he will be able to channel it in the right direction. And he's a guy that you can trust in that sense. Because, Fish, I think we've talked about it a couple times with you in here, it is still so fresh being champions. And given that these guys haven't been able to fully live out that off season of being a champion and partying and really going through what it's like to be at the top of the NBA, it's a motivation to want to run it back and to kind of use that as fuel in those moments where they do maybe think about that shortened off season and things that could kind of take their mind and distract them in a different place and different way. I think this could be a positive. And just even like sensing and watching and observing the way in which he handled that media session right there at the end of the preseason. Coming in, he was very truthful and honest that he'd only touched a basketball twice, and the process for which he is going to approach this season for himself. But I think it all has a purpose. And that's the one thing you can trust with him as your leader.
Allie, your answer is so good, I'm not going to let
We'll ask you how the hip felt after you missed the last game and started this one.
The hip felt good. Everything's good. Besides a little thigh contusion I got tonight. Got kneed in the thigh a little bit, but that'll pass. But everything feels good.
Hey, you've told us about the confidence that built last year and you felt all the way through the finals and carried into the preseason here. Looked like the shot's been pure in that sense as well. How are you feeling at this point, and anything else that stands out to you heading into the regular season opener?
I feel good, as far as like my confidence, and the belief and trust I have in myself. But we, as far as like team, we have a long way to go. As far as like building that chemistry, we still look kind of lost out there a little bit. But I know, the team we have, the group of guys that that's here. I know it's going to be soon as possible. We're going to put it together.
And can you just give us a sense of what it feels like, the way this offseason has gone, how truncated it's been, and now the regular season actually starts in just 3-4 days? So what has that felt like to you guys from a basketball sense, and how do you try to deal with it?
I think we try to deal with it day by day. I know the season is here, but we will want for the season to like start a little bit later. Right now, we trying to find a rhythm. We look like I said, we look lost a little bit. Winded here and there. So it was a quick turnaround for us and not really a break.
All right, I want to talk a little THD here quickly, guys. 20 points he averaged in 4 preseason games. And if you'd have told me a month ago that he'd be in the rotation, I would be trying to figure out where he would land. But Fish, I mean, you're watching him handle the ball and initiate the offense. If Schroeder and LeBron aren't in the games, is he the next guy? I mean, is he cracking this rotation?
I mean, I'm not coaching this team, but it looks like
he does, right?
It looks like he does. He has a composure and a poise to his game. He can finish at the rim, as we've talked a lot about. Showed the ability in Phoenix to knock down the three with confidence. Also facilitating and making plays for other people. And when you hear his interviews, there's a defensive mindset that he has about his game that he feels like that part has to, be handled first. So this is going to be an interesting, again, those kind of tough, good problems that Frank Vogel's going to have throughout the season.
I remember when he was going off 2 weeks ago, James, you were standing right there. You looked at me and says, no fluke, Geeter.
Guy's going to play, Geeter. There's going to be times where he may play 15, 16, 7 minutes. There are going to be times he's going to play 30 minutes. When he's rolling like that. He's somewhat of a late bloomer. He's just now arriving to where he's comfortable with himself and playing like an old pro. He's got an old soul in that body somewhere, man. The guy, he's got to play. He cannot be denied minutes the way he's playing. I'm sorry.
I'm a late bloomer as well. LeBron James had 20 points and 8 rebounds against the Suns. We will hear from We'll hear from Bron when we come back. Stick around.
Hey man, I don't know if you're supposed to be shooting that efficiently from downtown. What's going on with the stroke this preseason?
Just trying to get back in the rhythm, find my game. Coach wants me to shoot more threes, and why not, get used to it in the preseason and get the shots up. So that's all it was. Just trying to find a rhythm and just be confident in my shot, be confident in the game, and work on my game in the preseason games before we get started.
First half reminded me, AD, of early in the bubble when you guys were mostly thinking about trying to stay healthy, but those competitive juices seem to come out. The defense picks up a level in the third quarter. Is that what happened to turn things around, even though it was a preseason game?
Yeah, I mean, anytime we go out there and play, we want to work on good habits, work on our game, and the thing that we can do is control how we play on defense. And Coach got us on about our defensive intensity at half, and we closed the first quarter and the second quarter pretty good. First quarter they had, I think, 39 points, and we held them to, I think, 20 something in the second quarter, and then played a great defensive half in the second half. So we want to continue to work on our defense and be a dominant defensive team like we were last year. And it starts in the preseason. We got new guys, so we're going to continue to figure each other out and find ways that we can be better than we were last year.
Yeah, you mentioned the defense last year. That was a big thing that carried you to the championship. How different is this team? And I know it's tricky to judge after the preseason games, AD, but how are you feeling about the way things are coming together heading into the opener?
We feel good. We feel very good. The things we were able to do on the defensive end so quickly with our new guys is, it involves a lot of trust. It involves a lot of the new guys caring about playing defense, and it's about our schemes. And Coach complimented us on how well we're gelling together on the defensive end, doing things that we're really not supposed to be doing this early. And we got a lot of great cerebral players, Mark, West, that we picked up. So Trez, and we've been able to do some things that necessarily you probably wouldn't be able to do last year. But, two totally different teams, both teams defensive-minded. So we just take it team by team and try to figure out ways that we can be great on the defensive end. But I feel good about our team, going to our home opener, played two, Clippers twice and Phoenix twice, and saw two totally different teams, and we're able to win all four. But even though we feel good about where we are, we still have a long way to go.
And then last thing for you, AD, real quick, Chicago kid, Talen Horton-Tucker. You got that blood that runs deep there in the state of Illinois. What do you think of his preseason, and how does that help you going into the regular season?
He played his ass off. I mean, he's been great from day one. Even in the bubble, last year he's been great for us, and he's a kid who wants to learn, a kid who wants to go out there and compete and and get thrown in the fire. He doesn't shy away from matchups. He doesn't shy away from big moments. He listens, and that's all you can ask for from a guy who is a young player. And for him to come in and play with so much confidence and do good things for us on defense and on the offensive end is huge for us. And he's going to be a big role for us this year. And he's continuing to learn. I mean, this is, second year, and, he's still learning the game. So, the future is bright for him for sure.
Thanks, Eddie, man. We appreciate the time.
Yep, thanks, Mike.
All right, appreciate that, Mike. And Anthony Davis, AD and LeBron in their final tune-up. They get extended minutes. LeBron plays 25. He ends up with 20. But I want to talk about Anthony Davis, guys. He is game ready, and it showed in that third quarter. He had 19 of his 35 in that third. He was 6 of 7 for 3 overall, 4 of 5 in that third quarter, and just 30 minutes, 35 points, Fish.
Yes, efficient. Still really wanted to try and figure out how to win this game. Like, I don't think they felt like the world was going to end, obviously, if they did it. Talked about Frank Vogel really getting on them at halftime about their lack of defensive intensity. And that's really what seemed to turn them on. Like, as they started to really lock in defensively. The Suns scored 39 points in the first quarter, finished with 113, 74 points the rest of the game. And so this Lakers team,
Groundhog Day? Nope. It's just the NBA's preseason in 2020. LeBron and the Lakers are still in Phoenix for the second game of this 2-game road trip. LeBron scored 11 points in just 15 minutes on Wednesday. He and Anthony Davis will be ready come opening night. But will that require some minutes on the court tonight? The Lakers wrap up the preseason in Phoenix. Tip-off is at 7:30 right here on Spectrum Sportsnet. Will the Lakers complete the preseason a perfect 4-0? We will find out. We say hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. I'm Allie Clifton, joined by the Hall of Famer, big game, James Worthy, 5-time champ, head coach of the LA Sparks, Derek Fisher. Mike and Mike are here, Trudell and Brez, Geeter's running point at halftime and postgame. We're all here. Best thing about tonight, though, is what? I ask you both.
we're 6 feet apart.
Well, way to keep it real.
Last game of the preseason.
Nailed it. Last game of the preseason. Isn't that the best feeling?
Yeah, I think for some people, but some people may not play a lot after the preseason ends. So,
oh, there's that. Wow, you were just.
Got to keep that in mind too.
You came ready to go.
Yes.
And
Coach is always thinking about, playing time and decisions like that.
You got me. All right, I'm going to try to pick it up. After playing in Game 3 of the preseason, LeBron James and Anthony Davis will be suiting up tonight. In Game 3, LeBron knocked off some of the rust. 11 points for LeBron in 15 minutes, 10 points for AD in 17 minutes of action. Both sat for the entire second half. Guys, so many people wondered, would LeBron and AD play? How much would they play? Tonight, it sounds like they're going to play even a little bit more than what they did in Game 3. I think that's a good sign. Final tune-up.
I'm not too surprised. A quick turnaround. Two vital players to the team. They want to make sure that the other players are used to their tendencies and also get in a moment where they're getting ready. I mean, regular season starts next week, so I think it's okay. Play a few minutes, get ready, let's go.
Yeah, no, I agree. I believe it's possible that they'll play more than they did on Wednesday night because the preseason is so short. And you don't have as many opportunities to get prepared for the regular season beginning on Tuesday, and those games count. And I don't believe this team wants to start the regular season as though they don't care about it. So I think tonight is part of the preparation process to get ready to run it back.
Let me stick with you for just a second, because from a coaching perspective, Fish, it's not like you need to see more from LeBron James and Anthony Davis in terms of what can they bring, but from the team as a whole, from the other guys, what are you looking to see in this final tune-up?
How well they fit next to those two guys, basically. The different lineups that you might be able to explore at different points in the game. Frank Vogel's thinking about, offensively and defensively, how does he find the right balance? If LeBron's on the floor next to AD, sometimes Gasol is in the middle, sometimes Gasol is off the floor. Kuz has been playing good basketball. THT is playing great basketball. Figuring out maybe with Schroeder out tonight, what additional guard play can we rely on? KCP, Wes Matthews. So there's a lot to still figure out because of all the new pieces.
And from that perspective, those guys probably still want to get that time in as well, next to their two superstars.
Absolutely. I mean, as a coach, I'm sure it's a good, problem to have. The Lakers have a lot of scenarios. And I don't know if the coaches are going to be, Derek can talk about this, I don't know if they're going to be able to, experience them all in the preseason. So they're going to try different combinations, see how Montrezl is a big pick and roll type of guy. You got to see how he's going to fit in with, different players. Marc Gasol, although he's, 12th year in the league, great passer. So, there's a lot of scenarios he's got to look at. So it's going to be interesting to see how, even after tonight's game going into regular season, how he, mixes up these combinations that he has. It's a nice problem to have, but as a coach, I'm sure it's kind of difficult. Minutes here, minutes there, lineups, mismatches, all that type of thing.
Right now, especially practice, you can't get enough of it, too. I mean, you think of the shortened offseason already, the way you've had to manage it. You don't play, opening night isn't till Tuesday. So you imagine he'll really use the practice time as well over the next few days.
As much as you can. Coaches, we love it. Players,
not so much.
Always so much.
Let's get you live across the hall. It's Lakers reporter Mike Trudell. Preseason finale tonight, Mike. We're only 4 days away from the regular season.
That's right, man, and I am ready to go. It's still going to be fun to watch this game tonight, though, and almost shocking how fun these preseason games have been. And the first thing that I wanted to get from Frank Vogel was just the who's in, who's out. We know that a couple guys were dealing with minor injuries, and we are going to see both KCP and Alex Caruso. Remember, they had the hip soreness that they probably could have played through were there a regular season game. Dennis Schroeder, though, they are going to hold out just for precautionary reasons. Had a little bit of swelling in the ankle that he hurt in the third quarter against Phoenix, but it did not sound like something that could keep him out of the preseason opener. So Vogel touched on a couple of other things moments ago with us, and let's go and take a look.
The biggest thing that we want to take from last season is the approach that got us there, and that was to not concentrate on pressure of repeating or pressure of winning the championship or bigger picture goals. It was really about staying in the moment and being really productive when we come in to do our work each day. And, that message has been the same. Like, let's not think about, the bigger picture here. Let's just think about getting better every day and understanding all the details that are going to lead to winning basketball. If you focus on the task at hand, focus on the job, the results will come. That's definitely a message for our group this year.
Hey, Frank. I'm wondering what it's been like being around Marc Gasol. I know we've seen, obviously, we all know what he can do on the floor, and you've talked about what he brings to the team, but just personality-wise and his leadership-wise, what has it been like being around him for an exposed period or extended period of time for the first time?
Yeah, Marc's been amazing. He's a great guy to be around. You can see just when you're talking to the group and you're talking hoops, just the intelligence factor. You know what I mean? Like he's a guy that, not only, look, there's a lot of smart guys in this league that, they're intelligent, but, it can be displaced. And, he's a guy that gets it. He understands the picture of how the pieces fit with this team and the way our coaching staff does things. And, he's been a joy to be around, on a daily basis, just, talking non-basketball items. And then, when you dive into the film and some of the things that we're trying to do with our group, you can see just how his intelligence and IQ is going to benefit us.
Definitely going to be fun. I know Fish, of course, had some time playing with the Gasol that went pretty well. And I don't think you guys need me to tell you that. Now, one other update.